Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be doing stations 4 through 6 for revising and editing. So the first station you're going to work on is station 4, which is renaming. Okay, so looking at this example, we can read through the essay and find one keyword that's repeated. So if I'm looking at this example essay, I will notice that the word friend is repeated numerous times. So the word that I'm going to want to find synonyms for is for friend. So in my chart on my stations handout, I would write the word friend and then fill out that chart below it of all kinds of words I could use to replace the word friend. And so then as I go through that, then I'll go back and replace different spots in my essay, not every word that has friend, but a couple of the words, so have new words in place of those synonyms, and then read the results aloud to see if I like the changes. Okay, so your challenge is to now revisit your essay and find one keyword you repeated. Brainstorm the list of alternative words to substitute for that keyword and try substituting with those alternatives. Then make sure to read your results aloud to see if you like the changes. Make sure you pause the video, complete station 4 before you move on to station 5. Station 5 is bada bing, where we're going to use this strategy to help elaborate one of our senses in our writing. Now, if you get comfortable with this, you can do multiple senses. For your station handout, you'll see that you're going to do it for at least one sentence in your essay. So we're going to watch this short video explaining it.
Hi everybody, my name is Steven, and today we're going to be talking about bada bings, which are a really cool way to add detail into your writing. So I'm sure you found yourself in a situation like this where you get a Snapchat or a text from your friend and they're being extremely vague, but on purpose, just like this person. Some people don't know when to shut up, or can't believe it's been 2 years, dang. You look at your phone and you think, this person cannot be serious. They're being so vague and probably on purpose. When people make comments like this, you usually have no idea what they're talking about, and you usually have to ask them what they mean. All because they didn't give you enough details. They're being vague. The reality is that you, as a student, have been doing this exact same thing to your English teachers. You write something so boring and simple like, football is my favorite, it is my favorite because it is fun. Football is fun. This type of stuff makes your teachers weep, and they think to themselves, why are my students writing like this? Now, I'm sure that you're one of those students, though, that want to save their teachers from tears. Now I'm going to show you a really simple way to do it. So if you have a sentence like this that says, Jack went up the beanstalk, very simply, this is boring. It's not giving enough details. So what can you do instead to make it more interesting? It's really simple. You need to make a sentence with 3 parts. You need to tell us where your feet were, what you saw, and what you thought. These 3 things equal a bada bing. Now let's turn that old sentence from earlier into a bada bing. As I dragged myself to the top of the beanstalk, I peeked over the top, gazed upon a huge castle, and wondered who lived there. Now, the first part we have where your feet were, as I dragged myself. Then we have what they saw. They peeked over the top and gazed upon the castle, and then they tell us what they thought. It's pretty easy if you think about it, doing a bada bing with those 3 parts. Now, you may be thinking, what about that makes it really good? And I'm going to let one of my good friends, Atticus Finch, from the book To Kill a Mockingbird, explain it. He says, you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around him. And that's what bada bings do. They force your reader to see things from your perspective. Here's another example. So let's say you have the sentence, I ripped my skirt. Well, this is boring, so let's bada bing it. Where you were, what you saw, what you thought. I was standing behind my car, unloading boxes. Where you were. When I looked down at my skirt, tangled in the edge of the crate, what you saw. And I knew I just put a hole in my favorite skirt. What you thought. Real authors do this type of writing all the time. They want you, as the reader, to see things from their perspective. Here's a real-life example from the book The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. She says, I was sitting in a taxi, wondering if I had overdressed for the evening, when I looked out the window and saw Mom rooting through a dumpster. Not only is this a great case of writing, but it is also a bada bing, or in this case, a ba-bing-da. She started with where she was, then what she thought, and ended with what she saw. Really effective, I think. You don't have to do things just like the way I'm saying. You can mix it up, rearrange the order, see what works best for what you're writing. Remember, the goal is to cause your reader to see things the way you do. So look back into your writing and figure out where can you add some bada bings. So we had a quick surprise, a bonus round of bada bings. Did you know that the famous opening line from The Outsiders is a bada bing? Let's look at it. When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only two things on my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home. The ideas expressed in our video today come from the mind of Gretchen Burnaby and artwork.
All right, so why do we use bada bing? It adds depth to your writing. It helps you elaborate when you're stuck. It makes your writing more interesting. It creates that skin slippage for your reader. So it takes a deeper dive into your writing. So when I'm thinking about bada bing, I got to think about my ba, what is the action? My da, what did you see, hear, taste, touch, or feel? So think about your senses. And then my bing, what did you think? If you're stumped, you could also use the woobus, which is from station 1 activity that we did, where before I could say the sentence, good friends make you smile. So my ba is my action when good friends hang out with you. My da, you hear laughter and talking. My bing. And so from there I could say, which means that a good friend makes you smile and you realize friendships brings you happiness. So I'm using that W from my woobus to start my action. And so then what I can do is combine it all together. Again, I might have to revise as I put everything together as well. But I'm going to revise it together. And when I'm done, I have the sentence. When good friends hang out, chatter and laughter fills the air and smiles stretch ear to ear. Friendship brings happiness and fills our hearts with joy. Notice I took a very boring, plain sentence, and after bada binging it and even using a little bit of a woobus help, I now have a much deeper, richer writing that is much more enjoyable to read. Station 6 is editing. You're going to use this checklist to ask yourself each one of these questions and reflect back on your essay. As you read through, you're going to ask yourself, are my sentences clear and complete? So you're going to read the essay and check yourself and see, is it clear and complete? Or, oh, you might realize there's a sentence that needs to be fixed. You're going to fix it. So you're going to check yourself off once you have done each one of these checklist items. Okay. So make sure you get that done. Okay. And completed. When you're done, you're going to submit your checklist and your stations and everything into your folder lesson for today. So make sure you get all of your stations done because you're going to submit the handout in your Schoology folder.